Hello and welcome back, everyone. So today we'll be talking about how to get monarch butterflies into your garden. Now, what's the one plant you think of when thinking of monarch butterflies? If you guessed milkweed, you're 100% correct. Now, milkweed is a host plant, meaning the monarchs lay their eggs on it. It turns into larva. The larva feeds, and then that larva turns into a butterfly, and it migrates down south. Now, another good host plant, it's in the same family. It's not native, but it's balloon flower. Now, balloon flower you might want to consider because it hosts more monarch larvae than our native milkweeds. So some food for thought if you want to really get some monarch larvae into your garden and help support the population. Now, there's something I've heard, and you've probably heard it time and time again, and that is I planted all this milkweed, but no monarchs have shown up to my garden. And the reason for that is they probably have, but they've laid their eggs. They went on their way down south to do their thing. Meanwhile, those monarch butterflies that you say you haven't seen are in gardens like mine. So one thing to think about if you want monarchs in your garden is not just to plant milkweed. It's not just to plant balloon flower. It's to plant other flowers that are rich in nectar for this time of year. It's just like us getting off a long plane ride, a long car ride. You're tired, you're hungry. Well, it's the same thing for monarch butterflies. They journeyed from down south to up here in the north. They'll lay their eggs and reproduce. So some good plants this time of year, if you want a nectar source for your monarchs, are plants like this little known one. It's a native. It's called tickseed coreopsis. The main bloom's already happened, but it puts out some smaller blooms that monarchs feed on, so keep that in mind. A fantastic plant this time of year when everything's slowing down a little bit. A pollinator magnet. Bees are attracted to it. Different butterflies like fritillaries, swallowtails, and yes, your monarchs. And that plant is agastache. Great plant to get pollinators as well as all those monarchs into your garden. Other plants include Verbena bonariensis. I have it down there. Sedums, great plant because the flower head is almost like a mop head. It makes for a great landing pad and also a good spot for monarchs to feed. Other plants to consider, and we may think of them as weeds, are your umbellifers. So your yarrows, your fennels, your dill, they have those umbellifer type flowers. They look a little bit like a mop head. Like I said, we think of them as weeds, but they're good for butterflies, good for monarchs. So consider leaving some in your garden to help feed the monarch butterfly. That way you can enjoy the butterfly feeding, and if you have your milkweed or your balloon flower, it'll draw them into your garden. Find your milkweed and then lay its eggs on it and be on its way. With that said, everyone, don't just plant milkweed. Plant the nectar-rich plants, your agastaches, your sedums, your coreopsis, your umbellifer type flowers like yarrow, verbenas, flowers that bloom this type of year, along with planting your milkweeds or your balloon flowers to get these beautiful monarchs into your garden. I hope you've learned something, everyone. And until next time, bye-bye.